Assalamu alaikum, my dear students of class 8. I am Setu. I am the senior teacher of mathematics, Milestone School and College. The last class I had discussed from this chapter 7 some definitions with examples, and today I will discuss another discussion and I will solve some maths from this chapter 7. So let's start now. And the end of this chapter you will be able to explain universal set, explain complement of a set, explain set operations, explain union of sets, explain intersection of sets, explain disjoint set, solve different math from exercise. Okay, let's start today's lesson. Chapter 7, definition of universal set. At first you can see this figure. This is the universal set figure U. Universal set. If all the sets in the discussion are the subsets of a particular set, that particular set is called the universal set and it is denoted by U. If you follow an example, you can see in a school the set of all the students is a universal set. That means in your school all the students of the school is a universal set, and the set of the students of class 8 is the subset of the universal set. Example, if A equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, this is a set. B equals to 1, 3, 5 and C equals to 3, 4, 5, 6, determine the universal set. Here the elements of set B are 1, 3, 5 and the elements of set C are 3, 4, 5 that are included in set A. As you can see that B equals to 1, 3, 5, C equals to 3, 4, 5, 6, and what I am writing here, the elements of set B are 1, 3, 5 and the elements of set C 3, 4, 5 that are included in set A. That means 3, 4, 5 and 1, 3, 5, these numbers are included in set A. So in respect of these two sets B and C, the universal set is A. Must these numbers will be included in this big set. Okay, so A is the universal set. Next, definition complement of a set. As you can see the figure, so complement of a set, if U is an universal set, already you have learned, and set A is the subset of U, then the set of all elements that are excluded from set A, then the set of all elements that are excluded from set A is called the complement set of a set A. It is denoted by A to the power C, that means A complement, as you can say. If you see an example, in class 8, out of 50 students, 10 students are absent. If the set of all the students of class 8 is considered as a universal set, the set of 50 minus 10 or 40 present students will be the complement set of the set of those 10 absent students. See another example. If U equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and A equals to 1, 3, 5, determine A complement. So what I have written here, if U is an universal set and set A is the subset of U, then the set of all elements that are excluded from set A is called complement set of set A. That means in here, if U equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and A equals to 1, 3, 5. So all elements are excluded from these 1, 3, 5. What is the excluded in here? 2, 4 and 6. Here A to the power C equals to the complement set of A, the set of the elements excluding the elements of A. So the excluding elements from U you can find 2, 4, 6. So this is the complement of the set. That means in here A equals to 1, 3, 5. We have to find out the excluding the elements of A. That is the complement set. So my dear students, now set operations from this chapter 7. Union of set. The set formed by all the elements of two or more sets is called union of set. In this figure you can see we count in here two sets. This one is P and this one is Q. There are two sets in here and we have to find out the union of sets. How can you find out? Let A and B two sets. The set formed by all the elements of set A and B is expressed as A union B and read as A union B. That means this is the sign. This sign is A union B. This sign is A union B. So in set builder method we can write A union B equals to X such that X elements of A or X elements of B. Already you have learned the set builder method. That means A and B is the subset of X. A and B is the elements of X. So this is the example as you can follow. If A equals to 1, 3, 5 and B equals to 2, 4, 6. So A union B will be all the elements in a particular set. That means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have write down all the elements of A and B. All the elements of A and B in a particular set A union B. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That means this is the process of finding a union of a set. If you follow the another example, if P equals to X such that X is a factor of 6 and Q equals to X such that X is a factor of 8, then find P union Q. At first we have to find out the P set and Q set. So now factor of 6 equals to 1 into 6, 2 into 3. That means 6 equals to 1, 2, 3, 6. This is the factors of 6. And factors of 8. This is the factors of 8, 1, 2, 4, 8. So already we got the set of P. That means P equals to 1, 2, 3, 6 and Q equals to 1, 2, 4, 8. After that we have to find out P union Q. That means we have to write down all the elements only once at a time. If any elements repeated these two different sets, if any element is repeated these two different sets, we will write down only once a time. That means in here as you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8. 1 and 1 is here common but we write down only once. 2 and 2 in here is common, we write down only once. 3 is once a time, we will write down. 4 is once a time, we will write down. 6 is once a time, we will write down. 8 is once a time, we will write down. That means we will write all the elements but repeated elements we will write down only once. So this is the process of finding a union of sets. So my dear students, chapter 7, set operations. as you can see, intersection of sets. The set formed by the common elements of two or more sets is called intersection of sets. That means just you have learned union of set. That means we have to write down all the elements, and the common elements we have to write down only once a time. But in this intersection of sets, we have to write down only the common elements between two sets. This is the difference of union of set and intersection of set. That means the set formed by the common elements of two or more sets is called intersection of sets. Like, let A and B be two sets. The set formed by the common elements of sets A and B is expressed as A intersection B. You can see this is the sign of A intersection B, and the read as A intersection B. This is the sign. Very carefully you can see this is the sign of intersection, and we will read out A intersection B. And in set builder method, A intersection B equals to X such that X elements of A and X elements of B. This is the difference from the union of set. In here, in the union of set, we wrote down X elements of A or X elements of B. But in this intersection of set, we have to write down X elements of A and X elements of B. Otherwise, everything is okay, because A and B elements are the elements of X. So this is the example. If A equals to 135 and B equals to 57, find A intersection B. In this figure, you can see A and B, these are two sets, and 5 is the common element of A and B, because 5 is the element of A and also 5 is the element of B. So this is the common element, that's why this is the intersection of sets. You can see, so A intersection B equals to 135, intersection sign 57 equals to 5 is the common elements. So another example, if P equals to X such that X is a multiple of 2 and X less equal 8, that means the value of this, the elements of this set is a multiple of 2, and obviously this is less or equal 8. That means not more than 8. And Q equals to X is the multiple of 4 and X less equal 12. Find P intersection Q. So at first we have to find out P set and Q set. So now P, X is a multiple of 2 and X less equal 2. That means the elements are multiple of 2 and that is not more than 8. That means 2, 4, 6 and 8. Why we take in 8 in here? Because in here you can see this is X less equal 8. Less equal means we can take 8 also, but not more than 8. And Q equals to X is a multiple of 4 and X less equal 12. That means these elements are multiple of 4 and not more than 12. So 4, 8, 12 we find, because 12 we can take because this is equal sign also. So now you have to find out P intersection Q. 2, 4, 6, 8 intersection 4, 8, 12. So what is in common here? You can see 4 and 8 is common, these two sets. So 4 and 8 is our desired intersection. Now set operations. Disjoint set. In the union of set, what we have learned, we have to write down all the elements between two sets, and in intersection of sets we have to write down only the common elements. And these disjoint set, what we am writing, if there is no common element between the elements of two sets, the set are called disjoint sets. That means if there is no common element between these two elements, we will write down, we will call these two sets a disjoint set. Let A and B are two sets. A and B will be disjoint sets to each other if A and B equals to empty set or 5. It means when the two sets will be disjoint set, we will write down like this: A intersection B equals to phi or empty set. So if the intersection of two sets is an empty set, they are disjoint to each other. That means if we cannot find any common element between the two sets, we will call it the disjoint set to each other. Example, if x such that x is odd natural number and 1 less than x less than 7, and b equals to x is a factor of 8, then show that the sets A and B are disjoint. Now A equals to 3, 5 already we have find out, because x is odd natural number and 1 less than x less than 7. That means we have to find out between 1 and 7 the odd natural number, and that is only 3 and 5. You can check. And x is a factor of 8. Already we know the factor of 8 is 1, 2, 4, 8. So we have to find out A intersection B. That means 3, 5 intersection 1, 2, 4, 8. As you can see properly that there is no common element between these two sets. So we can say phi or empty set there, because there is no common elements. So A and B are disjoint set to each other. Students, now we will solve some extra math. Question number 1. If A equals to 3, 4, 5 and B equals to 4, 5, 6, find A union B and A intersection B. So A union B equals to 3, 4, 5, union 4, 5, 6 equals to 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the union. Already you have learned. That means we have to write down all the elements, but the common elements we have to write down only once. That means in here 4 and 4 is the common element, we will write down only once. 5 and 5 is the common element, we will write down only once. A intersection B. That means 3, 4, 5 and 4, 5, 6. So 4, 5 is the common element. So we will write A intersection B equals to 4, 5. Question number 2. If P equals to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and Q equals to 4, 6, 8, then express P union Q and P intersection Q in set builder method. In here we have to do two work. At first we have to find out P union Q, then that set we have to write down in a set builder method. Then we have to find out P intersection Q, then we have to write down in set builder method. How we can do this? P union Q equals to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, union 4, 6, 8. That means we will write down 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All the numbers we will write down once a time. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, as you can look very carefully, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is a natural number, so we can write down the condition. X is a natural number, and you can see these numbers are greater than 1 but less than 9. So we can write down 1 less than x less than 9. So this is the condition of set builder method. This is the answer. Now P intersection Q will find only the common element 4, 6, 8. Look very carefully. 4, 6, 8. These are even numbers. So x is a even natural number, and 4 less equal x less equal 8. That means 4 less than or equal x less than or equal 8. That means not less than 4 or not more than 8. So another solution of math extra. Express the set R equals to x such that x is a prime number and x less than 30 in tabular method. That means we have to write down all the prime numbers less than 30. So in tabular method, the set of R is given below. R equals to 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, 23, 29. These all the numbers are prime numbers and they are less than 30. Now, if P and Q are sets of all factors of 42 and 70 respectively, find P intersection Q. Here we have to find out at first all the factors of 42 and 70, then we will get P and Q set. Then you can find out easily P intersection Q. So these are the factors of 42, 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 14, 21 and 42. And these are the factors of 70. So these are the set of Q. So P intersection Q, if you follow these two set, you will find only the common elements 1 and 1, 2 and 2, 7 and 7, 14 and 14. So this is the answer of P intersection Q. Dear students, today you learned some definitions with examples, and I solved some maths. I think this will be very helpful for you to understand this chapter very easily because I discussed with examples. So I'm Shakil Alam Setu. I'm the senior teacher of mathematics for today. Enough for today. We will meet again for this chapter part 3 and we will solve all the exercise question. Till then, stay home, stay safe. Assalamu alaikum.